2. What's going on? This preacher. So this is a tip for people who's getting in this in trucking with their new authority. Have a plan. Okay? Have a plan. Do your research and have a plan. Because yes, it's not going to be that many brokers that you can start off with. You know, I have shared the ones that I'm started off with from day one, which is C.H. Robinson, TQL, Landstar, Uber Freights, and Swift Logistics. So out of those, I ran for C.H. Robinson, I ran for TQL, and I also ran for Landstar. So out of all those, and it is what it is. You're gonna hear the people like, oh, TQL, this. Yeah, it is what it is. This is what you got to work with until your authority age. So that's what I mean by have a plan. Okay, is TQL bad? I haven't had any bad experience with them myself. In 4.5 years of booking loads with them, me personally, I haven't had any problems. The rates I got from TQL been very good. That's me. I can't speak for everybody else. I only can speak for me. Okay? The load I got from TQL paid $2.39 a mile. Okay? So I only can go by what I only can go by what I had experienced with TQL. Yes, I hear all the stuff about TQL, but when you get your new authority, these are the ones that you can use. Like I said before, I decided to go ahead and get my own authority. For about 6 months, I've been running with these particular carriers, particularly C.H. Robinson, TQL, and Landstar. I did a couple Uber Freights. I did do a couple Uber Freights within that time, but not enough to be like, yeah, I was running with them. You know, I did probably like 5 loads out of the 6 months with Uber Freight. Right? So, but primarily was C.H. Robinson, TQL, and Landstar that I was just running for 6 whole months, dealing with them, and then dealing with them. I haven't had any problems with them whatsoever throughout that point. So I only can go off of me now. That's it. I know what some people say, but when you get your new authority, you have no choice. These are the ones you're gonna have to deal with when you get your new authority. Now I do have contracted freight. Like I said, I contracted with a company that I was using when I first got out here before. So I'm going to be contracted with them. Right now, that's just 2 loads a month for the run that I do, which is North Carolina down to South Florida. Because it's off season for the Florida market. It's only 2 runs out of the month. But come September, pretty much the last week of September, it goes to 3 runs a week. Each run pays $2,000. It's like 588 miles. Yeah, about 588 miles for $2,000. So, and like last time, I just found a load going back up there. The loads I was finding going back up there was paying between $700, $800 loads I was finding going back up there. Okay, so those 3 loads a week for $2,000 a pop, and then I will get a load going back up there, right, throughout that time. But in the meantime, I have to run off of load boards. I'm sorry how this camera is. I have to run off of load boards in the meantime. So, and that's what I've been doing, running off of load boards. So this past week was my first, not even a real full week because of Memorial Day. I didn't start the Tuesday, but it was my first full week, and I did pretty good. I'm not complaining for what I did. Now, I'm on my first long run because all the other stuff was just local, like 240 something miles, 221 miles, 134 miles, and then I had 300 something miles. And then this load right here, which was 898 miles, was my first long run that I have done. And everything so far so good. I just booked me a load for Monday going back to Florida. I have to pick up my medicine, but I don't plan on staying out. I was planning on just running the southeast, but I want to do a long run, that was paying some money for last week. That's the only reason why I chose to go up here, because I wanted to get some money, and I was in Florida, so I needed me a long run. That was the only reason why, to make some money. So next week I'm coming back. On Monday I come back, and I actually delivering to the Walmart that's like 3 miles away from my house on Wednesday. I got some repairs I got to do to the trailer floor. I had noticed when they was loading me, well, first, the stop I had before that, they didn't have any ramps. So what they did was they had some straps that they pulled to tied to the pallets, and then they pulled the pallets all the way to the edge, and then used the forklift to get the pallets off the edge. Well, by them doing that, it took off. It was cut. Got caught in some of the loose boards, and it started to rip up those particular boards. So it had some gashes inside the boards and everything like that. So I went to the Home Depot and got some wood fill, and I filled up all those particular gashes in it. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and repair it the correct way. Because then I also noticed when it was doing this load, and when I was strapping it up, that wood filling that I put up in there, some of it was popping out. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go get these 2 boards replaced, and I'm gonna be fine getting these 2 boards replaced, which is gonna be about $150 to get the 2 boards replaced. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that particular thing fixed. So that's why another thing I won't get done when I'm down there, have them repair those boards and things like that. So, and that probably would take up my whole day Wednesday. So on Thursday I get back out again and see where that takes me on Thursday. Maybe I go back up north again, but I'm gonna come right back, because I'm only going from Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, maybe Louisiana. Then I turn right back around and come back down to Florida. That's how I normally that I'm running, just the southern states. I'm doing all that. But yeah, you have to know, if you're getting out here, those are the companies that you're gonna have to work with. Okay, for the first 3 months. Now there are companies after 30 days you can sign on with too, but there's only like 3 of those. But 3 months, it opens up more companies that you actually can sign on to as well. So 3 months, it opens a lot more doors. You got more options. But just be prepared when you get out here. Plan on that particular thing. Okay, you have to plan on that. And then I would say, if you never booked loads before, and now you're talking about you gonna finna book your own loads and stuff, get some help. Get some. I'm not saying get some of these dispatchers, man, because I have about 12 dispatchers call me, and they tell me, well, yeah, I can get you $5,000 a week. I said, well, I've been dispatching myself, and I average between 6,500 to 68. So why would I want to go from 6,500 at my lowest down to 5,000 that you're talking about? I'm losing money by using you, so how can you help me? Meaning that you can't help me. So, and I tell them that a lot of times. And yes, that's what I was doing last 6 months, and I was home every single weekend, averaging $6,500 to $6,800. So they tell me these low numbers. So I'm like, man, I can't use you. You ain't even less than that long. But have a plan getting inside of this. Okay, you want to get your new authority? Have a plan. How are you going to do that? Start going ahead and get some load boards and start acting like you booking your loads. Go to that. Okay, if I book this load here, it goes to here. What kind of freight is coming out of this in particular area? Remember, for the last 4.5 years, I've been running the same area, going to the same places, picking up at the same places, doing the same lanes. So I know exactly how much the lane is. I know good times to come, bad times to come. In the wintertime, I'm not worried about wintertime, because like I said, I have that contract that goes to South Florida. I don't have to worry about some snow. Sometimes I did. It did snow a little bit in North Carolina. Now, it was a little snow on there and stuff like that. So it a little snow, but it's nothing like up north, though. Nothing like up north. So, and I like that contract because December the 23rd is their last day. and then they don't open back up until January the 2nd. So all of Christmas, that week after Christmas and after New Year's, they are closed, which I like, because I like to take that time off too, because my daughter, she'll be out of school for that whole week, and we could do some stuff like that. But have a plan when you get out here. Do all your research before you say, okay, yeah, I'm finna do this. Well, how are you going to do it? Who are you going to use? You can ask people, well, you can use this person, you can use this person, and remember, different regions, different areas pay different things. That's what I mean. You have to do your research. You do. A lot of people get their new authority, and then less than a year, they don't have the authority no more. They didn't quit. They got to sign on with somebody else, which I'm not understanding. But that's how some people are. I mean, I don't understand, because I know everybody that I was leased on to, especially when I did the lease purchase truck that I had. That was $15.36 a week, which I done told y'all that plenty of times. That's how much I paid. It was a full maintenance. I ain't have to worry about nothing else though, right? Plus 18%. So I was paying them almost $11,000 to $12,000 a month. I was paying them before I even get my money, and that was not including the fuel, because fuel had to get up out of all that too. And I did that with them for 2.5 years. So that's what I mean. When you switch over now where you getting all the money, I'm not understanding. My insurance is $2,086 for my authority insurance for my truck and everything a month. My trailer rental $650 a month. So you talking about $2,750? Let's just say $2,750. And then you got fuel, so you get yourself some fuel cards. So far, I've been averaging about $35 off my total cost of fuel using my fuel cards every time I didn't use them. That's what I've been averaging for it. So that's why I don't understand when people get out here with their new authority. What was your plan when you got up out of here? What kind of money did you expect to work, or how you expecting working? Because you have to have a plan. How are you going to work? When you going to go home? Are you going to stay out here? What areas are you going to run? Are you trying to just do something local? Or are you trying to do this? Have a plan when you get out here. Okay, my plan is to make as much money as physically possible that I can make. That is my plan. And still being able to come home on the weekends. So if my average is still going to be at 65, 68, that's fine. Now my overhead is low. I have the same overhead for when I worked for Warner Enterprises. I had got my house, my 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,600 square foot house that I built from the ground up. My motorcycles, my vehicles. I got all that with Warner. Okay? I got all that with Warner. My expenses have not changed. Just because I make more money, it does not mean I'm finna add on more expenses to what I was having. Now, my salary went from $1,300 a week to $1,800 a week since I have my own authority, right? So that's an extra $500 I'm giving myself. But I'm not going out buying nothing, gonna put more expenses on me. Why? No, I'm not gonna do that. My business have to make a certain amount of money, and my business have to pay me back. Okay, because I let my business borrow about $22,000 starting up this authority and everything. So my business have to pay me back my $22,000. My business have to pay me back. Right? That's how that works. All that money I gave my business have to pay me back. Now, I'm not going to collect any interest on that. I'm going to just collect exactly what I paid, that my business borrowed. So that's why I don't have to claim that money as income and pay taxes on what I had let my business borrow. But I'm going to pay myself back quarterly in a way to where that is my business not going to suffer. So all my business profits, after everything is paid and my payroll is paid, at the end of the quarter, however much my business had earned, at that time I would decide how much money that's inside my business account that I want to pay me back for that loan goes. But I had to make sure my business is making money. So you can't get out here because you're making more money, and then you want to get out here and start spending more money because you're making more money. No, you have to work. Slow your roll a little bit. We all want to make money in this, but because trucking has a lot of uncertainty, you don't know about your truck. For instance, with my truck, I finna get ready to get my DPF system clean. My EGR, my SCR. I'm gonna get all that clean in my DOC and the filters. I finna get ready to get all that whole clean. The whole process, they tell me it's gonna take a day. It's about $2,300 to do all that. But I bought this truck with 543,000 miles on it. It did not have an overhead on it, so I had got the overhead adjustment done on it before I even took it back. So I'm trying to make sure this truck is 100%, and I'm not sure about the DEF system, if they ever been clean, if they changed out the filters. I'm not sure about that. So it's easy to go and have them inspect it, clean everything, and I'm starting off, it'll be just like it's back to like 98% of it just being new, and they'll make sure everything is flowing like it's supposed to be flowing. So I have that assurity that this truck is 100% ready to go. And that's one of my main things, is I'm trying to make sure my equipment is staying top notch, so I'm not out here dealing with breakdowns. So only thing you can do is preventative maintenance on your vehicle, just to make sure everything is going good. I did everything but the my exhaust system. So now I'm going to do my exhaust system just to make sure everything is okay. So when you get out here, you got to have a plan. Okay, you have to have a plan. I don't need to be broke down on the side of the road, because all that towing and stuff, that's on me. It's on nobody else. You break down, everything is on you. But what can you do to make sure that you do not break down? That's just the thing. Okay, you got to check out your truck all the time. Make sure everything is working right like it's supposed to be working right. Get things checked out like it's supposed to be getting checked out. Make sure everything's grown. Have a plan when you get out here with your new authority. How are you going to do certain things? Now, my business is making money now. Like I said, I haven't taken anything out my business yet, but I'm financing my business, right? So even if my business was to need something happens and I don't have the money inside my business account to do it, then I would use my personal account and let my business borrow money for me personally. But again, before I had my own authority, I still had my own trucking business, and my business still was making money that I was paying taxes on. All this is free information, just like these other people who be getting me, try to fund me and give me money and all this other kind of stuff. How they'll pull up my tax report for my business. Oh, we see your business made this and your business made that. Yeah, my business did make that, but I don't need no money. You know, so I try to make sure that my business is making money. Have a plan when you get out here with your new trucking authority. Just don't get out here. I got friends that I talk to, and I ask them questions, and they help me out because they've been in this business for a long time. I get help from other people who know, but I get help for the right people, not just anybody, but the right people. Okay, that's the other thing. I call my friend Julius in a minute. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? So I can prepare in the future. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. So I call people who've been out here that know, not people who just telling you stuff that they hearing from other people and all on YouTube do this. No. I need somebody who's been out here grinding for a while, that really, really knows. Somebody who's going to give it to me raw. All right? So y'all be blessed. And remember, New Trucking Authority, have a plan before you get out here. Don't just plan to make some money and that's your plan. How are you going to make that money? How are you going to save money? How are you going to grow? Okay? Y'all be blessed.